Hey guys, welcome to Bastion. So I'm your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News again. Yes, the second episode today. That is because, of course, last night, at about 6 p.m., Nintendo held their stockholders conference, and quite a few interesting revelations came out about it. I didn't want to wait until next week to talk about them, so the Nintendo news that we're going to talk about today is specifically from that. The Zelda news episode that was supposed to air right now, I think maybe later today is when it will air, or maybe tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see about that. But anyways, let's talk about some interesting Nintendo news. First of all, smartphones. Now, so many people have been trying to urge Nintendo, or have been saying Nintendo really should release their back catalog of games on smartphones, and Nintendo has said no, that is never happening. Nintendo games are for Nintendo consoles, Nintendo platforms, and so we all thought that was never going to happen. But then earlier this week, a Japanese newspaper, came forward and said that they had an inside scoop, and that Nintendo was going to announce at their stockholders meeting that yes, they were going to release stuff on smartphones, but what it was going to be demos of new games, and then you would not be able to play that full game on the smartphone. You'd have to go and actually purchase it on Nintendo hardware. I thought that was ridiculous and impossible, because how could you play a 3DS game on your smartphone? A 3DS game has two screens. You're going to shove those two screens into your one little smartphone screen. It didn't make any sense to me, and so I'm glad to find out that's not what Nintendo's plan is, but I am sad to find out what Nintendo's plan is. And it is this. Mr. Iwata says that no, it cannot be as simple as putting a Mario game on a smartphone. He doesn't feel that would be appropriate. However, he does have a team of people working on creating some kind of Nintendo app for smartphones, and that it's not just going to be some kind of advertising mechanism for getting people to purchase stuff on Nintendo, that it has to provide actual content and some sort of something of entertainment value. Now, what he did say is that it is possible that this team could end up creating games that are specific for the smartphone, but that it would be remiss to say that it could be a Mario game. By the same token, I doubt we're going to get a Zelda game, or a Pokemon game, or a Metroid game, any Nintendo franchise games on smartphones. I think that they're going to create specific types of games that are specifically designed for a smartphone in that sort of touchscreen genre. And he did say, though, that it could have Nintendo characters in it, but I don't think it's going to be like a Mario touchscreen game or anything like that. We'll just have to wait and see what this app is going to be. The bigger news, the more exciting news for me, was the DS Virtual Console. Now, I got a little confused at first, because I worried that maybe this was just going to be games that happened to be on the DS's Virtual Console that were then going to be ported over to the Wii U, but then I remembered there was no such thing as a Virtual Console for the DS, right? So that would be impossible. So it is going to be actual DS games, things like, new Super Mario Bros., Phantom Hourglass Spirit Tracks, those two awesome Crystal Chronicles games. Those kinds of things are now going to be playable on the Wii U in a Virtual Console. That's going to be awesome, because I do have some friends who are just not into handhelds, saw some of the handheld games and really enjoyed them, but kept complaining that they were on, these little screens, even the XL version, not big enough for one of my friends. So he only likes to play things on big screens. So now he'll be able to, so that's pretty cool for him. Some other interesting news is that at this year's E3, there's going to be some sort of explanation or demonstration about how the GamePad, it has NFC readability on it somewhere. I forget where the heck that is, but no game has utilized it so far, not a single one. So we're finally going to find out what they plan to utilize that for. That will be interesting. If you're not familiar with NFC technology, if you are familiar with Skylanders, those portal things that you put the Skylanders figures on, that is NFC. Other things are like if you've purchased tickets or something, and all you had to do was tap your debit card on it. Your debit card had that technology, that chip in it, that, well, the machine had the technology, and then your debit card had the little chip in it that enabled that to be that quick transaction. I suspect it might just be something like that, like Nintendo is now going to say, don't worry about inputting your credit card information, just take your debit card, tap it to the gamepad, and buy virtual console games. So that could be pretty cool. Another interesting thing that they talked about is this summer they're going to release a quick boot in an update for the Wii U, and that is going to be great because as it is, you probably know that when you power up your Wii U, it takes an eternity for, I think, 30 seconds for the screen to even allow you to choose a game. Now you'll be able to turn it on and almost instantaneously you'll be able to tap the game that you want to play, start playing it. It's going to be great. The one final bit of news that I thought was kind of interesting is that Mr. Iwata says that Nintendo is going to look at breaking into the health industry in some kind of way. Now, this is going to go beyond things like Wii Fit, or Wii Fit U. This is going to be things like, I think he was talking about a completely separate console. He made a point of talking about how they will continue making gaming consoles, for sure, but I think he was talking about they're going to make some sort of health console that is not a gaming console, but is specifically dedicated to health, some kind of health platform. It'll be interesting to see what they have up their sleeves with regard to that. I'll definitely check it out. I even have my next review about Wii Fit U, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye, guys.